Hello, it's Leanne Phillipson coming to you from Sprout Right headquarters in Toronto on a rather bleak and rainy day. I've had a question come in from one of the participants in our New Eaters Club program, so I thought I'd answer it because it is actually a question that I get asked an awful lot. So it's about probiotics. What are probiotics? What do they do? And why should we take them? So I talk about probiotics all the time. If you've ever heard me speak about feeding your baby, feeding mom, feeding dad, the family, keeping everyone healthy, the immune system, the gut, digestive system, anything like that, then I've probably mentioned probiotics somewhere in there. So just to get really basic about it, probiotics is the term given to a supplement that's given or taken by a baby, by a child, by an adult, by your grandparents, anybody in a supplement form. So I have a whole bunch of them sitting right next to me in my office. So first of all, this is HMF Baby B. This is very specific for infants from birth to age 1. This one, HMF Baby F. This is specific for formula-fed babies from birth to age 1. There are times when I'll recommend either one of those outside of that time, but generally speaking, that's what it's for. I've got HMF Super Powder right here. This is more for yeasty type of situations and also a time, maybe a little while after an antibiotic. I get more specific when I'm dealing with one-on-one clients to recommend something like HMF Super Powder. There is also HMF Powder, which I recommend for children, as well as HMF Child. So this one comes in a blister pack, and it's just take one a day for them. So it's really simple, and it's not in a powder form. So it really depends on what you're after for your child and what do they like. HMF Child, with all these probiotics, it's all about the levels and the difference in how much you're getting. This HMF Forte is another product that Genestra recommends. One of my absolute favorites, HMF Intensive, is one that I recommend for all parents, all mothers, all dads, all everybody to boost their immune system. HMF Maternity was used in the Swansea study. I'll touch on that shortly as well. Post-antibiotic care, really strong and powerful probiotic. Honestly, I could go on and on. HMF Travel, this is a newer one that if you're going on a trip, it has a broad spectrum of probiotics, lots of different ones which are specific for the potential of getting food poisoning or something like that in another country. And then the big guns is the new HMF Intensive 500, which is 500 billion beneficial bacteria. Like I said, I'll get into the numbers shortly. Probiotics are this supplement. We should have a gut flora of billions and billions and billions of beneficial bacteria. And there are many reasons why you may not have a great level of beneficial bacteria in the gut. Anytime you eat sugar, anytime you have a medicine, anytime you have an alcoholic drink, anytime you have a poor diet, anytime you're under stress, anytime you have a lack of sleep, that affects negatively the gut flora. So that pretty much is most people on the planet. Also, our food does not contain as many probiotics as it used to just because of modern farming techniques. It's just different these days. When you eat your yogurt, you have your kefir, your kombucha, your sauerkraut, all of those fermented foods, it's a fantastic source of beneficial bacteria for your gut. However, the levels are not as high in especially the dairy products these days, and as soon as they add sugar into it, it negates the beneficial bacteria. Also, anything in that more food source way is more of an animal strain than a human strain. Human strain is also very important. HMF stands for human microflora. So again, different products for different situations. I'm not saying don't eat all of your fermented foods. Really important to have those as much as possible, but don't rely on it when we're trying to populate the gut for this reason. Any situation of antibiotics in anyone's life, while baby is in utero, mom might have antibiotics for some sort of infection. Then during pregnancy, later on, right up to birth, there may be more antibiotics going in. Then also moving into the, once baby is born, then having antibiotics go straight into baby during birth or post, and then while mom is breastfeeding, if she has antibiotics then it also affects baby's gut flora as well. So particulars for taking probiotics. The Genestra brand, which is the ones that I've just shown you, these ones need to be taken on an on a full stomach. So I normally suggest for babies and children, it's taken first thing in the morning. For adults, I suggest having it after dinner. So you do need to have something in their stomach. So if you're offering this to a baby, then you definitely want to be giving this right after nursing in the morning. Expect gassiness at any time. Really, we want to have beneficial bacteria in the billions and billions and billions all the time. So taking this every day, because every time you or your baby or child, anyone has a bowel movement, we lose billions of beneficial bacteria again then. So keeping this level really super high is so incredibly important for overall health. 80% of our immune system is in our gut. This, through the mouth, is such a way for bacteria, viruses, all sorts of things to get into our bodies. So keeping the intestines, which is, the food goes in, down the throat, into the stomach, travels its way down through all of the different types of intestine, the large intestine, the small intestine, through valves and all sorts of things. And all throughout that system, we want to have billions and billions and billions of beneficial bacteria. And that in itself will not only crowd out harmful bacteria, yeasts, parasites, bacterias, all sorts of things, but also if you think of the intestinal wall, like the inside of, let's say, a hose pipe, a straw, or anything like that, or even this room that I'm sitting in right now, we want beneficial bacteria plastered to the walls of the intestines all around, no small microscopic gaps. So when the probiotics go in, they clamp onto the intestinal wall. In breast milk, there's galacto-oligosaccharides, which is incredibly important for newborns and for babies. And that helps this process of the probiotic clamping on to the intestinal wall. This HMF Baby F is such a large bottle in comparison to Baby B because it contains the GOS, or galacto-oligosaccharides, in this for formula-fed babies. Some formulas have GOS in it, but I still prefer that they're getting that in with the probiotic at the same time to help the probiotic to clamp onto the intestinal wall. Now, around about age 2, Dr. Plummer, who's the formulator of all of these, said that the intestines they're rather set in the population and how much beneficial bacteria is in there. So we have a huge opportunity from 0 to age 2 to give probiotics every single day to get that gut environment set. If there are any antibiotics given, then they do kill off a lot of the beneficial bacteria, so it's important to keep on taking it away from the antibiotic itself as you're administering it as far away as you can, still giving it with food, and then you give it much stronger after an antibiotic situation. Any immune challenge that you or your child or your baby has, runny nose is happening, mucus in the stool, teething, colds, infections, anything like that can be helped by boosting the immune system. And one of those great ways to do that is to get probiotics into the gut, because 80% of that immune system is located in the gut. So boost the gut and you boost the immune system. Also to do with allergies, the Baby F, Baby B, and HMF maternity were all used in the Swansea study. If you want more information about that, reach out to us at sproutright.com. And that study showed a reduction in allergies by 50%, which is an insane amount, just by offering probiotics from birth. Mom took them before going into labor. Excuse me, and then after offering it to baby for, actually it was up to 3 years of age, the double-blind placebo-controlled trial that went on. So I hope that's answered some of your questions about probiotics, some of the basics. I did say I was going to talk a little bit about the numbers. So just so you understand, there are different products out there. Some are stronger and have more strains, and some are not as strong and have maybe one strain. So there's a product offered to babies called BioGaia for colic. All the research that's been done on BioGaia has used this product with 10 million beneficial bacteria of one strain, and the research was favorable for helping colic. So stick with the research, stick with what you have seen, what has been researched, and what it's used for. So this is a strain of 4 different bacteria at 10 billion beneficial bacteria in both HMF baby F, HMF baby B, which goes directly into the baby, and then also HMF maternity also has 10 billion beneficial bacteria. So these numbers are really important to understand. So at 10 billion beneficial bacteria, then what I recommend for adults and new mums, even all the way through pregnancy actually, is HMF intensive. You can offer the HMF maternity as well. That's a great alternative, but this has 25 billion beneficial bacteria. There's not one person that I have come across yet that I have found is nourished enough with beneficial bacteria. So that might give you a little bit more understanding. So 25 billion in that antibiotic, post-antibiotic care, that has 100 billion beneficial bacteria of 4 strains. And this big guy has 500 billion beneficial bacteria. There's also a product called HMF Intensive Powder that I very often recommend for toddlers, sometimes even a baby, depending on the situation. So that's when it's important to reach out for consultation. Let us know during the time that we're speaking exactly what the history is, and that's incredibly important for me to be able to discern and decide what probiotic it is that you, your baby, or any other family member needs. So this is just general information so that you understand a little bit more about probiotics, their importance, and how they can benefit your health. So go forth, have a super healthy day, and thanks so much for tuning in. Any more information that you'd like about the New Eaters Club or anything else to do with Sprout Right, please visit sproutright.com. Take good care.